Pluto and Scorpio in the eighth house, marriage, divorce, death, romance.
I don't really know where to start with this one. It's all over the map here. Very, very, very wrong. God, and he's using a lot of his personal life to try to justify his angle. Let's start with Pluto and Scorpio. Definitely not marriage. Pluto has to do with other people's resources, things that are intimate and deep.
Pluto and Scorpio don't rule marriage, but they both rule another person's resources, everything intimate and everything deep. Marriage is one of the only instances in which you garner another person's resources. Alimony, spousal support, joint bank accounts. Pluto rules taxes, joint taxes. I'm married, but I'm separated, and I was about to get an insurance settlement. And the lawyer calls me about to give me the check or whatever, but they mentioned my husband because he's entitled to my resources because we're married.
And that's the thing. It's not love, it's intimacy. And intimacy is something that is very, very, very deep down, often repressed.
Then you claim that Pluto and Scorpio have nothing to do with love, as if love is one-dimensional. You have love through touch, which is Taurus in the second house. You have motherly love, which is Cancer in the fourth house. You have familial love, which is Venus in the seventh house. Then you claim Pluto and Scorpio rule intimacy. Then you claim that intimacy is very, very deep, often repressed. Baby, if your intimacy is repressed, that's trauma. That's a problem.
Libra is legal matters, and it squares off with Capricorn, or Saturn's energy, which is marriage. It's the actual tradition of marriage.
Then you claim that Capricorn rules marriage, and then shortly after you say it rules the tradition of marriage. See, this is why people don't like me, baby. Marriage and the tradition of it are two different things. Traditions are ruled by Saturn, Capricorn, and the 10th house. I'm in Aries 10th house. My great-grandmother married to a military man. My mom's in the military. My dad, military. I married a felon. So the tradition of marriage is very much explained in my 10th house. My immediate marriage, my personal marriage, is Pluto, Scorpio in the 8th house. Look at your 8th house in Taurus. Y'all talk about money. You probably married somebody who works in food, housing, aesthetics, beauty, a sound engineer. Aries 8th house, you married a military man, a firefighter. You married somebody who's like an infant who has anger issues. Maybe there's some physical violence. So you are a Libra 8th house, family, mediation. You mediate marriages. You mediate death. You mediate birth. And get this, my dad is a Taurus 8th house. My mother, they're not together anymore, okay? But my mother has a beauty business called Always So Pretty. My dad's current wife used to work for Bose, a sound company.
Top astrology knows that Cancer is family.
But which family? You have the family you come home to every day, your nuclear family. Then you have the family that's far away, your Sagittarius and 9th house family, the older people in the family. Then you have your grandparents and the authority in the family, which is Capricorn. Then you have your siblings, your aunties, your uncles, which is Gemini in the 3rd house. Then you have step and adopted family, which is Aquarius in the 11th house. But family holistically is Venus, Libra, and the 7th house. First of all, look at Libra placements and how immersed they are in family. You got to use real life and real people, baby. Real life and real people are the only things that really illustrate astrology. And then say you have a Libra 4th house, Cancer 7th house. You're closer to mom, female lineage, grandma. Sagittarius 7th house, you're always flying to see family. You run from the family, a family full of men. You're closer to granddad, older uncles, male cousins. Say you have Virgo 7th house, sisters, aunties, nieces. Triggered. Not me being stitched by a naysayer. Moving on up. Yes, ma'am. That's indicative of my impending legacy, baby. I don't know what you thought you was doing. And let me tell you, I wouldn't take advice from nobody who don't use real life, and I wouldn't take advice from nobody whose skin look like that. Not like this, like his. I'm not, hold up. I'm not being rude. The condition of your skin is indicative of your innards, what's in your soul, what you're speaking from. He has some very repressed, suppressed, unlet go, unhealed. That's convoluting your delineations. I wasn't put in a position of authority as it pertains to spirituality and astrology, the esoteric sciences, until I freed myself of my childhood trauma and my pain. And with skin like that, not like this, You have it. And then be careful with people who say things like, I think we all should know that Cancer is family. Okay, Venus is not family. Saturn is how? Prove it. Unbeknownst to him, he's expressing his rudimentary arrogance. He's expressing how triggered he is by me and my humility and the fact that I'm able to show people through their own chart why I say what I say. There's no accredited place to learn this stuff, and you have to understand that. I actually plan to be the first, which is why I spend so much time helping you guys connect to your own chart through my knowledge. If people don't do that, don't trust them.
Family. So be very, very cautious where you get your information. I'm not going to break this entire video down, but it is all over the map and it is not accurate whatsoever.
But how, Pookie? How? It's people. Don't let people hoodwink you with tone and words. He's wrong. He's inaccurate. If people trust him enough, then they'll believe him. But at the end of the day, I'm not arrogant enough to ever expect that amount of trust from anybody. You see, I don't do that. And then if you look at his page, he does this a lot. You're not focused on astrology. You're focused on fighting with people and being triggered by people who you feel are coming up on your heels. Okay? But you're wrong. Prove it. Prove me wrong. I'm so open to it. I don't think people like that. I'm wrong. Okay, how? I'm not defensive. I don't defend myself. I don't need to defend myself, especially when it comes to astrology. My astrology proves itself, baby.